Hey guys, what's up everyone? Barber Mo here. As I promised in my previous video, I'm gonna teach you how to maintain your hair to keep it look neat and presentable. As a professional barber, I really advise against it. I would always advise you to go and see a professional barber. But if you really need it, then stick around and let me show you how. So as you can see, this is the most important things that you need, and it's really common things. We mostly have it at home. So you have the mirror for the back side to monitor your jobs, the most difficult part. And then you have here the cutting cape. You can replace it with towel if you don't have. And then you have the two clipper, the big one, the small one. This brand, it's very common, personal use. We mostly have it at home. And then you have the guides for it, number 4, number 3, number 2, and number 1. And then you have the two comb and the scissor. The rest you can ignore it. I just have it for my own satisfaction. And you can have your tea just to have a fun while that you're getting your hair cut. Is fine. So after we saw how my hair look like as of now, I trust we're all in very bad condition. So I would really tell you one thing, and very important for you to know, is there is only one easiest hairstyle that you can have for yourself, is high dark fade. So step number 1 is this one. It's 12 mm. So that's the number 4. Okay, you will see here number 4 on the side and 12 mm here on the middle. So you put it there and then you start. That's the number 4. So again, we adjust the adjustment. So we go for 0.5, put the number 9, number 3, 9 mm, number 3. And then again, leave the ½ inch here below, right? And then you get started. So as you can see, I stick with the ½ inch that I started with. So from the edge of the corner, just to show you on the other hand, so from the edge of the corner down only ½ inch. So I'm just working on this area. Okay, so sometimes this part will make you a little bit of confused. Just forget it, because where you're trimming is here. So on that same ½ inch, keep moving. Don't try to go lower or higher. That will damage the upper part that you already shaved it. So we're done with it. You can see the number 3, how clean it is. So now we will brush number 2. Again, number 2 is 6 mm. Number 2, you will find it on the right corner. So again, 0.5 and number 2, so 2.5. We're still a little bit lower than the ½ inch that we chose, not too low. Again, we don't repeat it too much, just a little bit to give ourselves the blended in look. Then we free the adjustment to work with number 2. Here we can repeat it a little bit. So the result of number 2 is, as you can see, it's too clean, too blended in very well. So I'm still here on the edge of the corner. There where I will start with the 1.5. So let's get started. So again, number 1 is the 3 mm, okay, and the number 1 on the right corner. Again, the adjustment 0.5, install it, and just for blend it in. And one more thing, if you have a little bit of waves, because some people, they have some fat waves around here, alright? So try to use the other hand to stretch your scalp like that. That will help you to not leave dark line behind. So again, we already blended in with the 1.5. Now we free the adjustment back to number 1. Here where we have to clean it until we feel satisfied. Okay, so you have to choose what you want. Like for me, I don't want to go too high, so I will probably just go up to here. So if you don't want it to go too high, just to the middle, try to touch your head bone here, the bone on the ball here in the middle. So if you try to touch this part, okay, I hope you can see me very well. So you put your hand here and then you work around it. So just like that. You put your hand here exactly and you target it. So I want this area. So you can count 1, 2, 3, and 4 fingers. And then you put the 5th one. So you start it just like that. And then after you have the first touch, there you will have the first guideline. Don't worry, it won't be wow, it won't be amazing and perfect. So just try to put the first. If you find it's good, keep it. If not, try to adjust it one more finger. So work with the 4. So 4, okay? And always when you're working on the back, just make sure that's how you hold your clipper. So usually we hold the clipper this way, okay? So make sure you hold the clipper this way. Start it and continue. So as we speak again, that's the number 4. Okay, so now we have to go for 3.5. So 3.5 again, adjustment, install, started, and again, half inch below. Half inch below how you measure down is part of it only, because remember, this edge of the guide, alright, it will be touching your hand, so that will make you inch. I think it's perfect before I see it. What do you think, guys? Let me take a look at it. It's very important always to look at your back, alright, when you're trying to start it from 1.5 down to 0.5, because you have to blend it in completely. So before you put that touch, you have to always double check of what you have done. Maybe you mess it up. Maybe I did. I don't know. You know it better. Let's see. Well, that's not bad. A slight mistake. We'll fix it later. But the blend is perfect. Let's see what we have done. So since I'm sure the back is perfect, now I'm going to start it with 1.5. So adjustment, the guide. And then remember, you don't have to go too high. So if this is the head bone, right? So from here down to the end, you can play, but do not go higher at all. So we blended in with 1.5, now with number 1 to have almost the finishing. Again, you have to put it on the center. Always make sure, since you cannot see the back, some people they have that kind of different direction for hair growth. So make sure you flip your clipper to the other side upside and down, and you try to catch the one is lefted. Let's see how it looks like. The 0.5. So you start 0.5, then you go for the back here. You will see that you can play with it from 1 to 5. So you can count 1 and then shave again, and then 2 and then shave again, and then 3 and then again on the same space. So you don't go too high or not too low. So you just go on the same place and you play like that around it. So start it from number 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. So when we go to 0, then we can shave it perfectly. Stick with the guideline that I give you. So step by step, you don't have to rush. So now I will show you guys like a small thing. That's what I was trying to explain on the beginning of this side haircut. So for me, I have like a little bit of a low bone on my scalp, alright? So you can see here. So it's always bothering the finishing. So this side here is completely clean. Here you can see that I have a little bit of bone in. So my bone is just going in a little bit. So I will show you how to manage it by your own. Here where we start. Stretch the scalp. So try to stretch your scalp as much as you can, okay? So try again, this is the target. So I put my hand on the target a little bit higher, 1 inch higher. Then I try to stretch the scalp as much as you can. You can see? Started with 1.5 because I ended up with number 2. I'm sure it's perfect. I told you, well done. it's really not advisable to go with the sharp line unless if you have someone at home. You can ask them to sharpen up the line for you. That's the easiest part. Anybody can do it, and it should not be too perfect. So it's really not advisable to go with the sharp line unless if you have someone at home. You can ask them to sharpen up the line for you. That's the easiest part. Anybody can do it, and it should not be too perfect. So now we are done with the side and the other side and the back as well. Now what we will do is the next step. So the next step is how to blend it in where we started with number 4 together with the top. And what we're gonna do with the top. Here. So the steps, first of all, pretend that you're trying to brush your hair forward. When you brush it forward, okay, flip the comb. So you hold it this way, okay? So for the scissor, we all know how to catch the scissor like that, right? So when you hold it this way, you will have the chance to measure how much you want. Say for example, I want this much. Okay, we're done. This is the easiest part. The hardest part is how to cut, okay? So if you try to cut this way, you're going to cut your fingers. So what you have to do, after you hold the scissor, you flip it. So again, same what we did to the clipper. So you do it this way. So the most important is the movement and how you use the tools, guys. It's not what to do with your hair. It's how to use the tools without hurting yourself. So it has some technique that you have to use, and you can watch me. So I'm doing it nice and easy with no blood in my hands. If there is blood, you can see. And don't try to cut all what you catch. So you can repeat it again and again until you make sure everything is perfect. And sometimes nice to not let it be too straight, so at least it will help you to have nice messy look. So now, when you reach the crown of your head, alright, on this part, this is the crown, and that's the hardest part. We all wonder what we're gonna do with it. So I'm gonna show you how you will deal with it. So first of all, you start it with the side. So you grab it from the side, you still have a chance to get this angle by your own eyes. So you start it with the side. Here you can keep the scissors straight. You don't have to flip it because you can see. As long as you cannot see, you have to flip the scissor. So this is 1, and that's 2. I can go also a little bit far. You will still see from this angle a little bit. Okay, then I will go for the top. That's angle 2. I will flip the scissor because I'm blind, and then I will go for the other side as well from this. So I don't have to turn to the mirror. So I will be staying still, and I will try to catch this part. I mean, you might bite your fingers a little bit with the scissor, but this is not big deal. Just try to make sure you are awake to all what you're doing. You can see this back side. What you're gonna do with it? There is no chance here and there, whatever. So what you have to do with it is hold the comb with the other hand. So you hold here the comb, here the scissor, and you try to brush it, okay? And you will feel the hair. So first of all, try to do like this. You can feel the hair, right? So and then the next move. Now for your information, there is 2 different type of technique. So it's up to you which one you're most comfortable with. I will be more comfortable to grab the side here and try to cut it this way, as you can see. Okay, that's part 1. Part 2, and what you can do, you can use the 2 hands and try to cut also this way. It's well done. So I only have this part left here. So I can use this technique it's up to me, okay? I can use that technique, also it's up to me, and I can use this. So you have to choose what you're comfortable with. It's getting out. So whatever exists here, you have to try to trim it. And you can see it when you're looking straight to the mirror. I'm just don't tell me I only have the fringe left, which is I have to decide about it right now. So for me, since I have the V shape, okay, I cannot go too short on the corner, so I can only shorten the middle. And for you, if your forehead is quite thick and complete, okay, so try to go all the way straight. So for me, I cannot go too straight. I can only cut the middle part to keep the corner matching with the middle. And if you have your forehead quite thick, all right, and straight, so you can go and straighten it all the way. And again, remember, there is one technique here and you can cut. There is one technique there and you can cut. I will always advise you to cut it this way. So you brush it down, then you flip the comb, and then you try to take it out, target what you want, and trim, 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 trim. All right, so I just fix it. And as you can see, guys, I didn't make it too straight. So that's the reason for me, I advise you to not trim it this way, because if you just trim it this way, it will look like a children haircut, and that's what we don't need. We need to avoid that. So what we have to do is brush it down, flip the comb, and then try to cut it this way. That will make the finishing of your hair, right? The finishing of the line of your hair a little bit messy, something long, something short, and that's what you need when you style it. So I already showed you all the steps one by one, okay? Take a look at it. It's not wow the way you expected when you get it with your barber, I'm sure, but at least it keeps you neat and clean. And one more thing, and always remember, do not judge the haircut until you wash it. Let me go get it done and I will come back to you in a second. So here we go. I already washed it, and as I told you, do not judge it before you wash it, all right? So remember this at all the time, and do not do the final touch before you wash it. I will just show you how it looks like very quickly, all right? And I want you to know it's the best haircut that you can have by yourself, all right? So it's not the wow one, the one can your barber deliver it, but at least it's something that can make you feel better. Since this hard time, we are really looking for anything to make us feel good. So we already have it done. Let's style it and see how it looks like. So even though stressing for 1 hour is much better than stressing all the time, and you will be the best to judge, it's the most important to keep yourself feeling good. And remember, having a haircut, it's the only thing that can make you feel good. Thank you for watching the video. I hope that it helped you in some way. Leave a comment down below if you have any question. And also stay tuned for my next video. I will be teaching you how to manage your beard at home. Until next time, stay home and stay safe.